common behavior presented by a typical gamer is that everything they do is right. How come we lose if I did so great in that match? It must have been the healer's fault. Oh, but that last game was completely thrown by the DPS that were blind and didn't focus the enemy supports. Don't even get me started on that tank that forgot he can do something else than dying. Most of those episodes are just brushed off and you continue on like nothing ever happened. But what if I told you there is always something you can do better in this game? At no point do you achieve full mastery of any game or even any hero you play. Today I will show you 10 things that you probably were doing wrong and tell you how to improve on those issues and also how to quickly notice them so you can avoid repeating them in the future. Also, this video acts as a helpful guide for newer players but also veterans who want to verify if they are truly doing everything right. Quick disclaimer, for those who like complaining in the comment section, just don't. Enjoy the video. The beginning of the match is devoted into picking your heroes. As you can see, it is very clearly visible what your teammates are choosing to play. Understanding what is needed and what isn't is very important for every single match. If you notice your supports are running Lucio Bridget, there is no need for 2 snipers in your team, or a tank that isn't able to output consistent damage in the front line. If you are so-called one-trick pony, then it is also okay to ask your teammates to let you play the hero you want, as you are trying to ensure your best performance by playing the character you are most comfortable with. If your teammates ask you to switch your hero pick, always wonder why would they even ask for that. If you think the proposition was a mistake, then just keep everything the same. But if you notice that maybe the person is right, then switching might create a better team synergy and at the end win you the match. When you leave your spawn door, you must understand what are you trying to achieve. If your team is defending, there is no reason to push too far into the enemies, as it is always easier to defend rather than attacking. Giving permanent access to spawn healing to your enemies puts you at a huge disadvantage. Also remember that you are strongest with your allies, and by your own you will only achieve disappointment. Try to coordinate your actions with your allies by applying the same knowledge you learned in preschool. Before pushing, look both left and right to see if there is anyone around you. If you notice there are people with you, go in and try your best. And even if you fail, you are assured that your presence provided a distraction big enough for your teammates to capitalize on it. Playing flank heroes such as Wrecking Ball, Genji or Sombra creates a similar yet different experience. You will not be as effective on your own as you would be by coordinating your attacks with teammates. Use the ability to see your friends through walls to decide what is the perfect moment to strike. I'll mention something very important that is connected to this positioning, but it's going to happen later on. Let's continue on for now. All heroes have something called abilities. Some are good and some are less good, but what most of them have in common is their cooldown. Remembering that you have some bonus tools at your disposal is always beneficial, so be sure to be aware of this sound, as it tells you directly without your need to look that your ability has been refreshed and is ready to use once again. Playing games is all about using everything you have at your disposal to overpower your enemies, and you need to use every bit of information you have, and sounds are one of many things that are very helpful. It is also good to be fully focused on the game and trying to notice the usage of enemy abilities with big cooldowns such as Protection Suzu or Immortality Fields, as the raw knowledge can save you from committing to dives that were failed from the start. An expansion to the previous segment, it is also great to remember what ultimate abilities have been used by your enemies and your teammates. With allies, it is much easier as it's just a simple hold of tab for a few seconds and you know everything, but the enemies actually require you to remember things and pay attention. Also, before using your ultimate abilities, always, and I mean it, always check how many of your teammates are there with you. Going in 1v5 and wasting your most important dominant ability of the match is the saddest and most pathetic way to lose games, excusing yourselves with lines such as "I got 5 people, why is no one there? Nobody was there because everyone died, you donkey." Synergize your ults with your team and use them in important situations such as overtime, beginnings of fights, and great opportunities that sometimes present themselves. Once again, I'll touch on the sound cues, as if you hear this sound, or even multiple of them with different pitches, it is a direct message to you: "Hey buddy, your team is losing this fight, you better not do something stupid and regret it seconds later." This is an extension to the second segment, where the map knowledge itself can win you most of the duels, more specifically health pack placements. If you know that right next to you there is a helpful snack that will give you some kind of health point back to you if you lost them in any way, shape or form, it allows you to play a little bit more aggressively than you'd normally do in random open spaces. This knowledge is especially useful to supports, as if they are left alone, anything that can help them survive a dive is a huge opportunity to turn the fight around. Also, understanding that your enemies can, and probably will, go around through a different route can make you prepared way sooner than you'd expect. If you are defending a point in a King of the Hill game mode, your enemies won't be always flooding through the main door like brainless AI. They will use the flank on the left, the dark corridor on the right, and who knows, they can just pick Echo and fly above roofs for an even bigger surprise. What? Yes, always limit your trust. Do not rely on your teammates too often. At the end of the day, only you are 100% sure what you try to achieve with your gameplay, and only you can hear all the voices in your head. Or am I the only one? Sometimes, even if you know you have a very wide sightline to your supports, even if your tank is in front of you, that does not mean everyone will know you want to play aggressive now. Try to be unpredictable for your enemies, yet easy to read for your allies. For example, before the game starts and you have some time to set up on defense, go to your sneaky setup spot before the game starts, not the last possible seconds. This shows your teammates that yes, indeed, you are committing to this play and you will play in the spot you are standing, but remember to always keep in mind a safe escape route, just in case not everyone will follow along your sneaky plan. You have the quick voice commands at your disposal, use them! Also, don't be afraid to ping here and there with your middle mouse button, as every ping on the enemy will give multiple signals to your team. Either you want to point out that someone is there and you want to warn everyone to not get close, or by spam pinging you very clearly show to everyone you want this person dead. Of course, a simple microphone solves those issues way better and more efficient, but not everyone is equipped with the speaking device, and that's okay. It is very important to understand that Overwatch is very similar to one of the most competitive, exciting and complex games in human history: rock, paper, scissors. In order to win, you can't run heroes that are having a bad matchup against enemy picks. Best example I can give you is running Winston against Reaper. When you notice an unfavorable matchup starting to form, don't be afraid to swap your hero before even getting the chance of ulting. It's more important and more beneficial for your team to have someone doing stuff throughout the entire game, not just once or twice per full moon. Understanding that shooting certain targets will not be as effective as shooting others is also great to keep an eye out on. Brainlessly shooting the shields and tanks is easy indeed, but you are accomplishing barely anything by spamming the damage sponge that is getting healed instantly. Prioritizing the weaker targets, such as enemy DPS or even better, the enemy supports, will benefit the team way more. Even poking with pathetic singular numbers of damage on the enemy supports is better than landing all your shots on a tank. You are forcing the supports to either back away or commit with lower HP. Another great outcome might be forcing usage of vital abilities such as Baptiste's Immortality Field or Kiriko's Suzu, as the threat of dying is higher than holding on to their abilities. Great players never go for the tank first, unless he's out of position. But even now, the stupidest of plays can be corrected by the stupid life wiener, and that's exactly why you should go for targets like him first instead of wasting time on tanks. Lastly, a quick lesson in morality of playing a game, especially in ranked matches. The game is never over until the end screen, so never give up even if everything is pointing that the game might be lost already. It's great to always push till the end, as the final result of the match will be way more satisfying and rewarding for both sides. And who knows, it's never too late to pull the game back. Or there is always a chance that the enemies will fumble and collapse because of unknown reasons. Great sportsmanship is also benefiting your approach to the games you lost, as after the game is over, you can analyze and learn from the entire match, not just the first half. Be responsible, be a great teammate, but most importantly, thank you for being an awesome viewer and sticking till the end of this video. If you enjoyed, then make sure to visit my channel page and I guarantee you'll find something interesting to watch there too. And as always, thanks for watching, have a lovely day, bye bye.